Right. My name is Stephen Tracy, and I am a director in the People and Operations division. And I've been with CHG now for roughly 2 years. So I've got my wife, myself, and then I've got 4 kids. I've got a daughter, Riley, who is 8. I've got a son, Beckham, who is 6, a son, Ezra, who is 3, and then a son, Theo, who is 1 year old. And so to start off the year, right after the holidays, we got the fun flu that was going around. And so each one of us kind of took turns taking it. So it kind of lasted in the home for, roughly 2 weeks. And then one night, my daughter came up at about 4 a.m. and said, my stomach's really hurting. We thought it was just, her turn for the flu. And so ran her over to the emergency room and found out that her appendix was getting very close to bursting. Got through all that, and we were like, okay, Tracy family's done for the year. Like, we've had our trials, we've pretty much hit our medical deductibles at this point. We should be good to go, right? We had one night where my wife was throwing a baby shower, so she was out for the evening. I had the kids, and my youngest, who was 7 months at the time, I'd fed him dinner and he had thrown up, which is fine, kids throw up. Put him to bed, didn't think too much into it, but felt enough to tell my wife, hey, when you get home, maybe check on him. So again, she comes home, wonderful person she is, had another intuition and was like, I just feel like I need to sleep on his floor and just, make sure he's okay. Fast forward, I wake up at about, 3, 4 in the morning to my wife screaming to come into the room. I run over there to see what's going on. And we turned on his lights, and in his crib, he's sitting there and kind of has that little bluish complexion going on. He had peed through all of his pajamas and his sheets, which was not normal for him. So we went to go pick him up, and I can remember what it looked like, and I can remember the feelings going through. But I went to pick him up, and his whole body just went limp, and kind of the eyes rolled back and everything. And we had no idea, right? He was freezing cold. We didn't really know what was going on. We tried to change him, warm him up. And then right after that, I remember just sitting there and feeling helpless, not really knowing what to do. And so my wife, grabbed the car, ran him over to the hospital right away to try and see what was going on. He had kind of irregular breathing going on. So we didn't know, was he choking on something? Did he not throw it all up? What was going on? And while she was there, they were doing all the checks, all the wires hooked up, everything. And, the main thing that we had kept hearing was, we just don't know. We don't know what it is. We don't know what's going on, but saw him starting to fade. And, I remember being on the phone with her and just having that moment of I've got to be strong for her. And I just have to deal with the reality that there's a chance we could lose him. He was fading. He was fading into a coma, and we later found out it was a diabetic coma. They call it DKA. But up to that point, we had no idea he was diabetic. Had never reacted one way or another to sugar. But what we found out later was that his pancreas was dying and fading, and so he needed insulin and things to help process food for him. And then after recovering from all of that, all the reality started sitting in of okay, what is type 1 diabetes? I don't know what that is. I just figured you lose weight, eat healthy, you don't have it anymore. That's type 2, not type 1. Type 1 you live with your whole life and have to, make the adjustments there. So we had to quickly learn what raising a diabetic kid looked like, had to get our education so we could take care of him. And then my thought immediately, being in finance, went to bills. This is gonna be ugly. How are we gonna afford this? I have amazing, family support, but also work family support, and had my leaders reach out to me and tell me about the Employee Compassionate Fund, and said, you got a lot on your plate. This is one thing that doesn't have to be on your plate. My message to others is, for sure give, because you never know who could be going through what. We never know really what story's going on internally. But then secondly is, I've become more of an advocate of don't be too prideful to reach out, because all of us occasionally need something in our life. We need a little bit of help, and this is one way that we can help. So this is Theo, and he's doing really well. Say hi.
Hi.
Keep looking.
Good boy.
On behalf of myself and my family, I just really appreciate all the help that the Employee Compassionate Fund gave to us and helped us throughout this year. Can't thank you enough, and thank you to all of those that have donated to it. Made all the world of a difference to us this year.